Welcome to the Lady Nighthawk Show, where we talk about all kinds of things, and we have all types of guests that comes on. But you know, I always have this special guest that I have on here tonight is because, like, you know, he's like a co-host for me, and he is my fact checker. So, if you introduce yourself.
Well, good evening, and thank you for having me here this evening. My name is Donald Bell. I'm an attorney here in Maryland. I am based in Prince George's County in Greenbelt. And I've been practicing law here in Prince George's County, which is the only place that I practice at for the last 21 years. Well, June will make 21 years.
Well, congratulations.
June will make 21 years. And I am so happy to be here. I enjoy coming here and you know, just talking with you and having that great banter going back and forth. Yes. You know, it's a highlight of my day.
Yeah, so. It's a highlight of mine when you come. When you don't come, I miss you. Okay.
You tell everybody that. So.
No.
I'm joking with you.
No. Then there are people that I do, some other people that I do, but no, that's why.
Well, thank you for saying that.
It's the truth.
That makes me feel. You know, welcomed and special. So thank you for saying that.
And you are, and that's why I just kind of like. Because I have a lot of time, you know. Like I said, when I got sick, I was at home. I was just really praying and asking about things. Because, you know, I don't usually give you all topics. I let the Spirit do what it does.
Yeah.
And it said, no, Donald needs to come on by himself. You know, now if we have a congressman or, you know, councilman, then, you know, Donald should be the one that's here with me, you know, because you've given me great support through the years. And so, you know, I mean, might be some people that are going to get mad, okay, but I mean, that's just life, okay. You have some shows that you do just have two people and they dialogue back and forth and they have a difference of opinion, but that's what we're here for. If people just, everybody say, yeah, you understand what I'm saying? Then there's no dialogue, you know.
I agree.
I just want to make sure that I have an expert that's here that can, you know.
Well, I don't know that I'm an expert, but I'm glad to give you my viewpoints and my opinions and whatnot. So,
but I know that you're very astute, you know, and so I'm not quite sure. And then my other fact checker that used to do a fact check for us, I don't know if they got told that they couldn't do that or not, because they would have been on top of me on something that what I said earlier.
Oh, right? Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
and I can't say his name.
No, you can't say his name. Nah. But
so,
I know,
but we're thinking about you.
Yeah,
we're praying for you too.
Yeah, we're praying for you too, because they would have been right on top of that, and we told both of us, but whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then I found out that social media is under, a lot of it that people use under one particular person that they bought it so that people couldn't do fact checks. See, I don't go on social media like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And
well, you know, there are certain things like certain places on when it comes to social media, I had to cut back on social media. Because it felt like, you know, I was just being indoctrinated, you know, with like certain viewpoints and things of that nature. And, you know, it sort of, it changes you and whatnot.
Oh, yeah,
so it's like, okay,
depressed.
I need to step back from this because I got my own opinions and you know, my own moral code and whatnot. But when you're constantly on there watching these videos and you're spending all this time on social media, if you don't watch it, it could change you.
Oh, tell me. I stopped watching a long time ago, okay?
Yeah. I got rid of TikTok.
Yeah, I never had TikTok.
Well, I had it for about 6 months. And then about 2 years ago, I got rid of it because I found myself, you know, staying up. I would start at like 10 o'clock at night. And next thing I know, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning and whatnot. And, you know, by 9:30, I want to go, you know, I'm going to bed.
Right, because you got to get up early in the morning.
But, you know, you're just swiping and swiping and swiping. Right. You're laughing, you're singing songs, you're doing all this. I was like, wait a minute. You know, this is too much.
Well, I don't know because I never had TikTok, okay?
But, you know, Facebook and Instagram,
I've been off of Facebook and Instagram. When I first started here, I had Facebook and Instagram. That's because somebody set it up for me and somebody would load it for me, okay? But I have not, in my text message that, oh, so-and-so poked you on, I didn't even know what a poke was. I had to ask somebody on Facebook, right? And I said, wow, I mean, look, if they look at it, they can see I haven't been on Facebook in years, okay? But I'm glad, shout out to you, a couple of people that have poked me. I haven't poked you back because I forgot the password. I could get it, but I'm not trying to get hooked, right? So, you know, Instagram, when I first came to the industry, it was very important that if you were on television, that you got on Instagram and Facebook, okay? Yeah. And I was on radio as well at the time, radio and TV.
Yeah.
And so it was very important that they told me that I needed to be on these two things, okay? Mm-hmm. And so that's when I was using them. And then came along YouTube, and I still, YouTube is loaded for me, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you what iPhone has done to me all of a sudden, like you said, staying on social media. Every time I turn my iPhone on there, I didn't ask for it, okay? They got all this, everything that's going on with certain people in the country.
I think those smartphones are dangerous because you could just be thinking about something and then you mention it, then all of a sudden you look at your smartphone and that information is there. So I think it's listening to you and all the time.
What it's doing, but it has all these things. But see, I don't like to do upgrades, and so the last time I found it, because I have to delete stuff, right? Because my son said he has never seen a hoarder that hoards on the phone. Okay. He said,
what do you hoard? Pictures?
I hoard everything. Okay. Email, text, phone. I mean, you know, photos, whatever. If you saw how many, I was looking for my phone. I must have left it on the seat. That he says, Ma, you know, you need to get that little gadget now they have now where you know you could transfer it to your computer.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I haven't gotten it yet. Okay, but that's what I need to do because I have to delete emails and.
So he wants you to put all your stuff in the cloud.
Yeah, well, no, on my laptop.
Oh,
they have
your
it
laptop.
now that you can transfer it to your laptop, but you got to buy this little gadget and this adapter. It doesn't cost that much, and so that you can do the transfer to your laptop, right?
Okay.
But
so you can clean your phone off and you can.
Yes, because he tells me that is ridiculous. He said, I mean, I heard of people hoarding things, but you've created a new whole environment, you know, the stuff that you have on your telephone. So, and I think they put stuff on your phone. I don't know for sure, so don't take this from me, okay? I'm just saying what I feel. Like when you get an update, they put stuff on the phone, like you said, like they want you to have. Because never when I used to turn on my phone that I automatically.
I agree with you on that because sometimes when I look at my phone, it's like this game. I'm like, where do these games come from?
I don't even do games.
Like these new apps. I don't play the games either, but like, or like some new app or something like that. You know, we're gonna try this new app, or to tell you we need to clean up your phone. And it's like we're gonna take off this stuff that you hadn't used in a while. But then it's like they give you these suggestions of things that you need to put on. I was like, okay, I don't need that.
So. No, I don't. And so it really screwed up my.
So I don't know that we're the target audience because they want you to put those things on there. So they can sell you something.
Yes, and the thing is that they messed up my contacts so bad the last time that I accidentally, and I apologize to those people, I was sending something that I thought it was just to me, that I thought it was, and I wound up sending it to 3 other people. And I was up, like you said, late at night, so I had to apologize because I didn't mean to do it, but all I saw was my name, you know, because it was at nighttime, didn't have your glasses on, right, trying to do something. But they were interesting topics that I sent to them because one of them was about Senator Jasmine Crockett.
Okay, the congressman from Texas.
Yes, and then another one was about something else that was going on, and there were 3 interesting topics. But like I said, that when I turn my phone on, I don't have no choice. They automatically, like you said, I don't know if they listen or you clicked it once, and now every time I got a whole list of things that are on there. One thing that I thought was good, though, that they were telling people that were on Social Security on different things that they need to take advantage of right now. But it makes it look like it's new because the $50 that you got at the beginning of the year, they still advertising that like it was a big thing that was done.
So what $50 are you talking about?
They have one little article that says that if you were 65 or older, then you'll get a $50 increase on your Social Security check, and you don't have to do anything, and it's one time. And that was in January, okay? They gave you one, which they normally do. They give you, it's not just this president, it's all of them every year. you get an increase, okay? So $50, they still have that on there, and they need to take it off because they make people think they're getting $50 every month, and they're not. It came to you in January.
You know, one of the issues that, now that you're talking about Social Security, that I've seen recently, I've had like a couple people come in, and let's say if their name was on their parents' account or something like that, and you know, both them and the parents were getting Social Security, and let's say the parent passed away, okay, then the banks have been closing out, you know, the parent's account and the other person's account that's still alive,
right?
And then they'll send a note back to Social Security saying that, you know, both of them are deceased.
Oh, that's where that came from.
And then all of a sudden, you know, the Social Security get cut off for the you know,
and the person that's alive.
That's deceased and the person that's alive.
Right.
And so I've had like 3 or 4 people in the last month or two say, you know, that, and it's difficult for them to get an appointment to go into Social Security.
And it is.
To actually get it fixed.
Because it's been closed down, their phones are closed down. But I did check, and it's in my car. I know the last time I was on here, I told you could call and you get a call back. Well, not now, because the whoever, whether you want to call them, they had something to do with having the Social Security Administration cut back and the office is closed down. I checked last night. There's 2 different numbers to see whether or not.
Have you tried to call recently to see if you could get through?
I did it last night.
Okay.
So, but they will give you a message. I was going to give you those 2 numbers. They will give you a message. They have a robot that will tell you certain things if you know certain information, and they then tell you where you have to go and check and see whether or not your Social Security office has been closed. Okay.
Yeah, I listened to Bloomberg Radio, like going into work and coming home. And they did like a piece about how, I guess, Social Security was trying to use like these updated computers and things of that nature, who was supposed to take the place of actual people that folks were talking to. And it basically said that, you know, a lot of older people who are on Social Security don't know how to use, you know, the technology and whatnot. So basically they're being effectively like sort of just locked out of the system because, you know, they're used to like talking to somebody. Or going in and sitting down with somebody and whatnot, but because they're trying to use this technology. And I hadn't had a chance to actually, you know, I'm just going off of what I actually read. So, but it seems like you're confirming that.
That is the truth. That is the truth.
You know, with the story that you're telling right now.
That is the truth. Because I did, last time we were on the air, I was able to talk to a person. Then in the news media, I don't care what channel you watch, local channel, but it was telling you that they were shutting them down. And there were people that were inside working the Social Security that was being interviewed by people that wouldn't tell their names, and they said it was all full of chaos and confusion over there.
Okay.
And that a lot of things that they had people coming in there were like young people that somebody had hired to come in there and they don't have a clue. And they were trying to install this new software system in the Social Security. Well, which did the false narrative, like you're saying, that people, they have claiming that are dead, okay? And what happens is that if you claim it's not easy for you to become resurrected and be alive, okay? You have to go through the courts, okay? You have to show so many documents and stuff that you still, hey, I'm still here, you know, this is me, you know, so it's not like where if you went into about a credit card and say, oh, I accidentally got this turned off, you know, can we fix it? You know, you get it done. No, if you get claimed dead, it's not easy. And like I said, some things I think that, I know this person watches television just like I do, and it seems like sometimes I can see exactly what they must have been watching that night because it still comes up the next day, okay? One of the things was about this lady that in one of the movies that her husband, they were divorced, and they had not gotten divorced. He wanted to get married, right? Well, when he tried to go get married, Social Security had claimed him as being dead, okay? And
this is a TV show?
It's a TV show.
Okay.
And then later on, we heard about it later on, you know, real life.
Okay.
But anyway, it was a TV show. And so the wife was an attorney, and she told him, well, it's not going to be that easy, so you have to reschedule your wedding, okay? And You know, because if they claim you as being dead, it's not that easy for you to just go in there and say, here I am, you know. So it takes some time. So my heart goes out to those people because there are a lot of people that's happening to. I do know this about Social Security and death benefits and stuff. That, let's say what that scenario you just gave. What that person that was supposed to do that was still alive, they had a certain, so they weren't supposed to continuously get the dead person's checks if it was their mothers or
No,
fathers.
both of them got cut off.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So both of them got, that's the problem.
Okay, but see, but they were responsible to let the Social Security know so that they would not sit, they give them 5 to 7 days. This has been years ago. Now, I don't know if this changed or not, but I'm just talking about, I know this.
No, but this is what this person did. They did that.
Long time ago.
No, they
recently.
notified Social Security.
Okay.
That, you know,
that person was passed.
Yeah, that, you know, my parent passed away.
Okay, please don't send me their checks.
And they went to the bank and
closed that account
They
out.
closed that account.
Okay.
And whatnot. But what the bank did was because they had joint accounts.
Okay.
Okay, because they had like one.
They
had one individual account. You know, for the deceased person. And then they had one, you know, had her own individual account. And then they had a joint account.
Right.
The person and their parent had a joint account.
Okay.
The bank
closed
all the accounts.
Right, right.
Okay, and then sent notes to the to Social Security, sent a notice to Social Security that, you know,
all these people are dead.
All these people are dead.
Yeah.
So the Social Security and the pension and everything, you know, they wouldn't even, you know, trying to come into the bank, and the bank sending it back.
Right. Well,
so now this person can't pay their mortgage.
Right. And the congressperson, it was 2 congress people that were on television that were talking about just that.
Yeah.
One is that a person that was not vetted or had the authority for that agency or didn't work there, it's called a dead man list, okay, a DML. Okay. Everybody was not supposed to have passcodes or able to use that function. Okay. It's like the hierarchy up in the organization was the only people that were supposed to have it. Well, a lot of people that they were sitting over there and they found out with the confusion that was going on over there, the congressman said, and the congresswoman said, that what they did when they found out that passcode had gotten this and all these false narratives were being put out there to the public, it was because these people had gone in there and they got a list of the list, and it now is causing havoc for a lot of people in the United States because of that scenario that they didn't verify, because it wasn't for everybody. It was only one little section of people that had the duty of going to verify. So they're really in trouble because that one little group of people that had the responsibility of checking that and verifying it is not there anymore. Okay, you know, they closed down some of the sectors over there. And that's why a lot of people that are going in there that they're appointing to go on there are leaving after they get in there because of they don't want to be blamed, you know, for the confusion that's going on over there. But I mean, so we have to pray. I think that this is what, just like you said to us on the other show, everybody, if you love America, then you have to be a part of keeping democracy alive. Okay, it doesn't matter how big or small or what you do. What we do here is a small thing, but we try to keep you here abreast. This is our part of trying to let you know, when you have elections, things that are going on in the world, and then we have fun stuff to talk about. We have fun people to come in. But right now, we as American citizens, prayer changes things, okay? We need to pray. I prayed for the president the last time I was here and asked him to have a softened heart, because he is human, and that he would please stop doing all these things, and I mean that today, Mr. President. I'm asking that the Lord would soften your heart, because prayer does change things, and recognize that a lot of people are, being affected. And I know that you have children and family members yourself, you know what I mean? And so you don't want it, you're not going to be president forever. So you don't want to be putting things in place that is not going to be able to help your family members and the people that voted for you. Those are the people that you need to be concerned about. So I'm just asking you to ease up on some of the things that are being done to the people of the United States of America and democracy. And so I thank you. I know you're going to do the right thing. And that's what I'm saying in my heart. I know that you're going to do the right thing. So I take my hat off to you on doing the right thing. I do want to say this to the American people, that democracy is what we were built on. Everybody that came in this country came from someplace else. So you need to make sure that we keep democracy alive. And, you know, I think it was Jesse Jackson that used to say, keep hope alive, you know. And he ain't never lied. We need to keep hope alive, and we need to pray. When the ministers, you need to get out there, you need to get form marches and stuff, and everything in a peaceful fashion. How we got to the point where we were able to have the civil rights movement change the world here in the United States was because there were peaceful demonstrations, okay? Nothing is going to get accomplished if people go out there and start acting silly, okay? So whatever we need to do, we need to make sure that it is peaceful. If you demonstrate peaceful, you know, not going out there wanting to fight each other, and I haven't seen that. Any demonstration that I've seen on television, you guys have been doing just that, having peaceful demonstrations, and the places that they're doing it all over this country. I mean, we talk about it's not just some places like in front of certain businesses. There might be a few people, but they're religiously out there every day. But I'm talking about these major marches that they're having in these cities.
Okay.
There are so many people that are banding together to say, leave the education system alone, leave health care alone, you know, leave Social Security and Medicare alone. And they're all out there marching together. And so, like I said, please continue on a peaceful march, and pray, because prayer does change things. I know this had happened, that I know that every time, because we have a reactive person. So Harvard, you know, thumbed up, and now they're coming after, what is it, May something, that people that have delinquency in their financial aid.
Yeah, that's one thing that I wanted to talk about. That's one of the major things that I wanted to talk about student loans and about student loan delinquencies. You know, student loan delinquencies are at an all-time high. And the U.S. Department of Education has put out that beginning on May 5th, they're going to begin collecting on those delinquencies. So if you have not been making payments on your student loans, you need to get into one of those income-driven repayment plans. They're called IDRs. Mm-hmm. The Department of Education was not accepting applications for a long period last year because there were various court cases that were going on that has sort of stopped a lot of the income-driven repayment programs that were out there. But from my understanding, my reading today is that they recently opened back up those portals. And, you know, I think that what the Department of Education is going to do is they're going to take a very heavy-handed approach in trying to collect on those delinquencies. There are some people who have not made payments since the beginning of the pandemic in March of 2020. Mm-hmm. And, you know, if you are delinquent, then I highly recommend that you try to go to you know, studentaid.gov, go to the Department of Education, get in contact with your servicer, because, you know, they're going to start withholding, you know, tax refunds, you know, garnishing wages, you know, going after, you know, government benefits like VA and Social Security and things of that nature. So, I mean, it can have a devastating impact on you. So there's a new regime in town, and, you know, they want to sort of take a heavy-handed approach in terms of collecting on these delinquent student loans.
Yeah, because Cornell is a response, and sort of similar to Harvard, about the freeze on the money for financial aid, which I think is horrible, okay, because you got students that depend on that money, and they haven't done anything about it, you know. They're just trying to go to school, and they got the loan.
Well, I think a lot of the freezes have to do with the grants, for like research and things of that nature.
Yes, and that's what they said is so hard, is that a lot of scientists come out of Harvard, and somebody said last night that, oh, so now they're going after the people that my artists and things that I guess that people go to for Cornell, right? But I'm just saying.
Well, both of those are Ivy League schools,
Yes.
and there's a lot of research, medical research, and other type of research that are done at schools like that.
Yes.
You know, a lot of like inventions and things of that nature, and like a lot of medical research, are done at places like that. And what's going to happen is the people who are, really smart in driving that, if they can't do it at Harvard or Cornell,
they're leaving the country.
they're going to go other places.
Yes.
And so that innovative. Those innovative products are going to be made in other places, not here. So.
And then if the tariffs are high, then you're not even going to be able to get the benefit of using them, okay?
Yeah.
Because some of the ones that they got left, I just want to say this, do your part, okay? Democracy cannot stay alive if you don't do your part, no matter how small it is. If it, just do your part, because this is what this country is for and what it's been built on. And I thank you so much for, bringing up the financial aid piece, because a lot of people probably didn't even see that little thing on the on the news,
Oh,
and
it's coming.
they're going to be in big but the income driven thing is a good thing for you to tell them, okay?
Yeah.
And before that happened, I had already got a letter saying that mine was extended to 2026, and but now it's not that easy to call the Department of Education either. So your servicer, people getting laid off, so you just have to be patient. I know that Mohila will call you back, okay? So you just call your servicer, and if you stay on the phone for an hour, or you have them call you back, and they will call you back. That's this time. Now next month, I might come back and tell you, well, they're doing something different. That's what happened with